Hello, my name is Jerome Newchurch.
Hi, my name's Nikki Milputty.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Peel.
G'day, my name's Wayne.
Hi, my name is Peter Miller.
Hi, I'm Cara Dudley.
Hi, my name's Peter.
And I'm taking part in a Mojo workshop.
In Ceduna. We are a group of trainees, Mojos.
Learning
To tell stories.
smartphones are empowering citizens to
Become Mojos.
Have you got a story to tell?
This is the Trans-Pacific. It crosses Australia from Sydney to Perth and back again. We're at the Watson sighting in remote South Australia, about 380 kilometres northwest of Ceduna. Years ago, Watson was a thriving community, just like neighbouring Aldea. For many of our people, the Trans-Pacific was their first link to the white man's world. Today, all the houses in Watson are long gone. But every December, our mob from Oak Valley, Yalata, Koonibba and Ceduna camp here and wait for the Christmas train. This year, Christmas at Watson was being recorded by Mojos, or mobile journalists, like Rhonda Ma, a mum from Yalata, and Roger Williams from Oak Valley. Roger's first Mojo story about the Maralinga bombs was drawing a crowd and the interest from the CEO of Red Cross.
He's so impressed with Roger's story that he'd like to use that as part of an anti-nuclear campaign.
Oh wow, there you go.
It's huge.
Go Mojo!
And that's exactly what Red Cross was hoping for when they commissioned the Mojo training program.
There are stories out here, there are stories that people in the rest of the world want to hear and see, but not everyone can come and experience, firsthand and tour this region. That's what I'm hoping that the Mojos will be able to do, and that they'll travel. They'll move it out of Ceduna, they'll go down and do all the West Coast, they'll come through to Adelaide, they'll do the lands, they'll move into the Northern Territory. Why can't they be a mobile unit that's truly, mobile journalism, and they go all over Australia?
The Far West Mojo project is based in Ceduna, a port town on the South Australian coast. Two of the major industries are gypsum and wheat farming. The third is the service industry.
Being different is about not being a service deliverer. We're not about individual case management. We're not about that kind of therapeutic work. We're not about the long-term one-to-one. What we are about is actually working with building the capacity of the community and the strength of the community. Now that happens through individuals, but it's an approach that looks at beyond the individual and what they can achieve for their community.
Give it 'em!
And that's exactly the type of empowerment Red Cross was hoping Mojo would deliver.
I've been a follower all my life, and I just feel like it's the time to be the leader.
Do you reckon you'd be able to come in and help us, learn?
Yeah, I reckon. Show these young ones that there's better things than drinking and drugs. They always talk about the bad side, but there's a good side too, Not all the people in this town are bad. Show the true colours, And then, go to the beach, go along the whole coastline, and you'll love it. That's what.
It's delivering skills and technology and turns those hedonics that are associated with that process into a eudaimonic thing. It turns them into a collective, into a community of practice.
Nick Heine from Red Cross is responsible for the Far West region's community services.
There's lots of NGOs, there's lots of government agencies, there's lots of homeland structures and lots of mobilisation of communities that come through Ceduna. And no one, I don't think, has ever stopped to kind of say, how do we actually get a central point to create a central point for voice for community?
Red Cross contacted Ivo Burum, who developed the NT and the Sherberg Mojo programs that gave Indigenous people in remote communities the tools and skills to create their own local voice.
It really started back in the late 80s and early 90s when I was working for Karma in Central Australia, and the government had rolled out BRACs, and they were little units in 80 communities around the country that enable people to create radio and create their own video programs. And there wasn't any training. So I saw both the potential and the need then, and Mojo came out of that.
In a Mojo workshop in Ceduna.
And what captured my imagination was the fact that it was storytelling, it was new age storytelling, but more importantly it was people who looked really proud when they were doing it. Yeah. So that's the thing I thought, if we're going to do anything, if I was going to do anything in this space, I'd really like to do something that looked like that.
This is where it becomes different to print journalism and print stories.
The first phase of Ivo's program is a Train the Trainer workshop.
Indigenous people were telling stories for 40,000 years and more. There's nothing we can teach them about telling stories.
But there's a great deal to learn about mobile storytelling.
Story bounce.
How long do they take to charge up?
None of us really want to do too much writing, and so writing in pictures is a bit easier than just words. And most of us that were migrants here in Australia actually understand that. So Mojo enables you to write a bit, to shoot a bit, put the two together and to tell stories.
Look, we can tell stories from our own perspective, you know. We can look at the positive and really see what's happening in our community and, you know, tell a lot of stories that people don't know about, so therefore they're not told.
Within hours, all the trainers were telling their first stories.
I'm taking part in a Mojo workshop in Ceduna.
Have you got a story to tell?
Recording.
My name's Wayne Miller and I'm participating in a Mojo workshop in Ceduna. I just can't believe we had, you know, a couple of 50-year-olds there that were able to pick up on this technology and to start to edit their own movies. It really gives me goosebumps, and some of these people can hardly turn a computer on, and we've got them with an iPhone.
I'm just telling you something.
and the accessories, and they're making their own movies and editing it themselves. That's fantastic.
That's it. And a bit more. Okay, put your finger down like that. Now go back to the beginning. Yeah, you've done it.
The best part about it is once you're gone, Ivo, we're still left with the ability to be able to make these films, and there's so many elders in the community that have stories, and if we can't capture them, then those stories will be lost. And this is the mechanism that we can record them stories.
Getting community buy-in is a critical aspect of the Mojo program, and this meant travelling long distances for face-to-face meetings with elders.
I think you can't do this by rote. You need to go into communities and sit with the elders and pitch ideas to them, like pitch this program to them. And then what happens is that a cultural, organic community osmosis begins, and it begins to filter the potential of Mojo through the community, and you end up getting the right Mojos.
One of those was Roger Williams from Oak Valley.
Go around, interview a couple of people, all that, old people.
Roger wanted to make stories about his community's history.
Tell their stories, tell the story to me, then report them.
I know a lot of people who, you know, have the iPhone and they wouldn't have any idea that you can actually use these to make videos, to be able to learn, to share and showcase their culture, and, you know, use the iPhone in a completely different capacity is, really empowering, I think.
And because of that, at times, the stories can be very confronting.
Well, I feel a little bit funny. Feel like all the soldiers walking around and all the nurses running around the room here, all clinic. Yeah. Feel like they're around.
You know, if we were to get professionals in to record these stories, we'd be paying big money, and it wouldn't happen, and that's why we've lost so many stories already. People are going to look at this and people are going to just say, where to from here?
The trainers had learned their skills, and now it was time to get the Mojos.
So the Mojo, the mobile journalism, is just an exciting opportunity to empower Aboriginal voices from Oak Valley.
6 hours up the road and the team had made it to Oak Valley. Ivo had already interviewed prospective Mojos, but there was still some final community negotiations to be had.
Who would you take?
Breaded. Are you happy with that? Is he yeah? Okay.
Yep.
And that's okay with your younger family?
Yeah.
The elders said it's good for you to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once elders were happy, we had our mojos. Jerome Newchurch and Nikki Mulpuddy from Ceduna, Kyra Dudley, Shirley Peel and Martika Peel from Koonibba, Rhonda Marr and her husband Brandon from Yalata, Roger Williams and Trisha Booger from Oak Valley, 500 k's northwest from the coast. The Mojos were headed for the Emu Farm in Ceduna, their training centre and home for the next week.
Hello, mate.
All right, how are you? Welcome,
right,
Nikki. How are you? I'm good, mate.
Peter Jericho, the coordinator of the Ceduna Youth Hub, joined the Mojo program because he knew that it would complement their engagement programs.
The core of the Mojo program in telling the stories of the individuals in town, the young people, the elders, the cultural stories, that core of the Mojo program that's really important, that we want to continue that flavour through. Obviously the young people that we've got here, we can see a link in connecting with elders like Peter Miller, and he can share stories, and then young people can also share stories with him. And we're really excited about merging the Mojo stuff, all the skills, and the with our multimedia program, the music. Seeing the crossover and having young people writing songs, and then going, hey, let's not stop there, let's tell our story through film as well. So yeah, that's pretty.
Look, I'm really excited to be here today, and it's a really big welcome for everyone here for the Far West Mojo program.
Yeah, the Far West Mojo.
The people in this room are now going to be trained to be able to tell wonderful local stories here from your communities. And for us, that is exactly why we invited Ivo to come over. We know that he's done some fantastic work in communities before, and I'm really, really looking forward to the stories that you produce. We came back from Oak Valley yesterday, and Roger and Braden and Rhonda were in the car with us, and we stopped the car a few times. Whacked a couple of goannas on the head on the way through, and you know, some stories are already coming up already out of the bush. Without further ado, Uncle Peter Miller, if you could welcome us, that would be wonderful.
Now, on behalf of the Ceduna community, I'd like to welcome you all here today, and hope that your participation in this workshop be a rewarding one and a very, very successful one.
Welcome. So what's Mojo? Mojo stands for mobile journalism. It means using smartphone to create journalism.
I did a lot of filming over the years of the football, netball, family events, community events, and I didn't see anybody else stepping up to take over that responsibility, because it's important that you collect stories, and the stories that will tell a story that will lead into another story. My name is Peter Miller. I'm a Warringah man from Ceduna in the Far West region. I've always loved telling stories and recording stories. So I joined the mobile journalism program, and this is my first Mojo story. Well, the people that I interviewed are no longer with us. There's going to be times when I'm not around, but my story be around. My early memories of Koonibba, how far that story will go into the future, it's whoever's going to be interviewing me and the question that that person's going to be asking.
And that's the primary aim of the Mojo program, to put black faces behind the cameras, asking the questions.
Why not, eh? Just go right ahead, do what you want to do, be who you want to be. That makes it feel good, eh? Being a leader. Sweet.
Mojos start feeling comfortable.
It's very cool, but it's a lot of hard work.
The hardest thing was to make the stories first off.
So we know to find a story, we need to do story, character, resolution, actuality, production.
So if you wasn't here, we wouldn't know what to do. Yeah. So that was pretty much the hardest. But then once you took us through it, we picked it up quick.
Hi, my name is Jerome Newchurch. This is the Ceduna Youth Hub. Come in and take a look. The Ceduna Youth Hub is where young people aged 12 to 25 hang out. This is one of the lads that likes to come to the Youth Hub.
When we first came here, we were ashamed for the cameras, then started getting used to the cameras and learning different things every day.
What sort of stories do you reckon you could be telling in your community?
Take the kids out, teach them how to...
I've just seen from the first workshop I went to with a bunch of people that felt awkward and they felt uncomfortable. And by the end of the day, everyone was smiling, everyone was talking. We had some really shy people there that were putting their hands all over their face. They didn't want to be filmed. And by the end of it, they were actually talking to the camera.
Hi, I'm Robin Miller. I'm taking part in a Mojo workshop in Ceduna.
And that's amazing. And the best part about it is just something small like that has taught people to step outside their comfort zone and just really take life on.
And that's the real aim of Mojo, but it's not easy. Mojos are out of community, they've got to learn all this new journalism stuff, and that's another journey in itself, because only when they learn that, only then can you bring out the fun stuff.
And with the introduction to journalism over, it was time to get their Mojo kit.
We'll wait for number one. At the heart of every Mojo kit is a smartphone, just like this one. This is the iPhone 5S, it's the one we use. The reason we use the iPhone is because with a particular edit app that we use has 2 tracks of video, which we think is really important for making Mojo stories.
A lot of people, just the basic Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, just use it for phone calls, but the iPhone, you know, you can use it for so much more.
See a little baby microphone? Audio-wise, we use a lapel mic, and this is a Rode SmartLav Plus.
Good microphone.
The cables are a wee bit short, but this is a terrific mic. We also have a little directional mic, and that comes with the MCAM light, and pops in like that.
Very cool.
And it's really terrific. And if you want to do bands or music, you might need something like this. It's got an attenuating switch in it.
The Far West Mojo.
We marry that with a cradle.
Hello, my name's Burum Media.
And it's great for when you're doing pans and tilts and gives you extra stability.
With the help of trainers, it didn't take long for the Mojos to go from shooting exercises to this.
This is Koonibba, a community of about 200 people, 38 kilometres west from Ceduna. My name's Cara Dudley and this is my community. Uncle Peter Miller, one of our elders, knows.
Firstly, when we pulled up, I was a bit nervous with the camera right up in your face. But over the past few days, I've gained confidence.
What do you think the future is for these small communities like Koonibba?
Speaking a lot more and yeah.
New skills lead to the Mojo going out into the community to engage with the community, to do their stories. And there's a growth in self-esteem.
The real celebrating point was the day that we actually went around Ceduna and the cameras were taken out to Thevenard and the art centre.
The community sees this and they go, wow, let's have more of those great stories.
Lauren is a senior health worker.
Just like Rhonda's Tallawin Health Centre story.
Our people used to hunt for our food and that kept us healthy. Today we have a shop and we don't get as much. When we first came here, we were ashamed for the cameras. Never had a camera in front of our face like that before. Impairing. Then started getting used to the cameras. Our people used to hunt for our food and that kept us healthy. And learning different things every day.
Welcome to the Mothers and Baby Centre of Tallawin Health. Go out to the bush and cook tails in the ashes. And then
when I come back to the community, I think when the kids see all the cameras, they will all want to be recorded. They'll all want to be on TV.
Soon Mojos felt confident enough to cover the State Minister's visit to the youth hub.
And it's really great to have you here.
It's about being front and centre, so you could see Nikki and Jerome are right up there. They've got the cameras right in the minister's face, and it's like, you know, that takes a lot of confidence for a young person to ask them questions and you know, use the techniques that they've been taught, because it's fair enough you can teach someone something, but then for them to actually put that into action is another thing.
Look, one of the reasons I wanted to come and talk to you today is because I have a very exciting announcement. My department is going to fund a community youth development officer.
How does it feel to come here to this? You said here.
Look, I was here just last month. One of the things we can see with Mojo is that people develop great confidence. Confidence in the use of their technology, but also confidence in understanding who they are and some of the stories of their immediate family and even their ancestors.
This is a story about going out getting some mako. We love it.
But it's hard work. Love it.
It's really strong and powerful to know that story, but also to know that this technology could be a future and a future opportunity for you.
Seeing these guys going from, you know, not knowing how to do it to going around at night with their lights and with their cameras practicing, it's really great to see, and I'm really looking forward to seeing their stories from their communities.
Camera. What was that first piece to camera that
But there was still one important training phase, the editing.
And that's going to be on video track 1.
So remember, we're going to press it to get the yellow bars, because the next piece was...
And providing continued support was the role of trainers.
Close up, because the first thing we said was smartphones, so we show a photo of a movie of a smartphone.
Still not quite big enough? Perfect, so if you're happy with that, we're going to take this down. That's that one there, yeah.
Oh, really? I just try to get around and, you know, kind of earn everybody's trust and rapport.
Hi, my name's Nikki.
It was so simplistic for them to be able to work through. That was the nice part about it. It was a training that was delivered for their level. You know, because you sort of think, oh, you just come along and you just do this, and then not realise that there's all these different segments.
You record those 2 voiceovers?
Not just about pointing the camera and getting a good picture. It's about tying those pictures in, tying the words in.
And within hours, Nikki was producing his first Mojo story.
What's the history of this art centre?
Well, I suppose we're like...
Pam Dement is the big boss here in the art centre, and she's the coordinator of all artists. I've known this bloke, Beaver, ever since we went to school. Always been quiet, but loved his artwork. A little bit more up.
That one there.
This will help me out, as long as I just keep my mind onto it, because I do things and I fade away from it. So, yeah.
But not this time.
Yeah. That's really good. I like that.
Such a beautiful place, beautiful town. Can't beat it. All I'm gonna do now is buy one now.
Most people are copycats, you know. Like they want to be this bloke, they want to be that bloke, you know. But to see this will tell you who you really are.
And that's exactly why Roger became a Mojo.
130 kilometers from Oak Valley, where the dirt road stopped, is the turn to Merilinga.
One of his first Mojo stories was about the bombs.
The actual bombs went off 37 k's away out there, mate.
A lot of our people died from the bomb.
The plutonium trials, they were the worst ones because they built themselves a big kiln with a 150-foot chimney and got a 2-kilo block of plutonium. And they exploded underneath and sent that plutonium, pure plutonium, up into the air and out onto the ground.
Roger interviewed Uncle Tom, one of his elders who was walking in this country when the bombs went off.
After the Merilinga bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Start shifting people around.
Yeah. Roger understands and speaks his language really well. He spent his whole life living in Oak Valley. But when you take an oral culture and put it down in written form, you need to be sure. So we've asked some family members to come and check the translations, and that's the corroborating way. That's the way Indigenous people do it. So we've put it on a computer so that everybody can see the stuff.
Roger wanted to get it right, so the subtitling went long into the night. And the process brought up lots of old memories.
Yeah, my mum and my grandma came through the smoke, through here, through Merlinga. When I was a little boy, I always sit there and listen to my grandma, my mum talk about it. Yeah, still got it in my head. When they put the chain around their arms, legs, neck, all that, when they're ready to shoot them, the other families came along.
Save them.
Yep. And my mum started singing a Christian song. Jesus loved me, Jesus gave them power. So the song just came out of their mouth.
Religion also played a big part in another of our Mojo's lives.
Well, Koonibba was set up by the Lutheran Church. There was a bloke by the name of Pastor Off who came in the early 1800s. And he came from Germany before coming on the boat from Adelaide to Denal Bay. But there's no denying that the Lutheran missionaries worked very hard in setting up Koonibba. But it was the Aboriginal people that was the workforce and the driving force behind that community. It was the workforce of the community was Indigenous that did that. Yep. Proud, mate. Very proud. Can't wait to see the finish. Can't wait to see the finish. Go Mojo, mate. Go Mojo.
But it wasn't easy for the trainers.
Size, don't use digital enhancement.
Go.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Lee. I'm at Denal Bay. I'm getting some raisin fish for my snacks tonight.
It was trying to change styles with different people because not everybody's at the same standard.
I don't know.
And that was the hard part to adapt to until you sort of knew where the crew were.
One of the Mojos who was ready and eager was Trisha from Oak Valley.
What are main signatures here?
Sadly, we have a lot of people that have diabetes, sugar trouble, and we have a lot of people who have high blood pressure.
And then when that stops, we lift his voice up. That's it. All of it out. Now play it again.
What that looks like is you've had a hole in the past and that canal extrudes.
Practice makes perfect, and just when we've got films that are done from a local side, local point of view, and you can still see that they're local just by the way they're filmed and the way you've got people talking. It's local lingo we're talking. You know, it's local words we're using. I think it's fantastic.
And so did everybody who watched the stories.
I love that! Can we get a copy of this?
My cousin really loves working here at the art centre.
The usually shy Nicky was so proud, he couldn't wait to show his family.
Hey, get 2 thumbs up. During to do this, you know, they could go out and get with family, and each family will go out and do a family documentary, you know, of what our family do. Yeah. And, you know, now they're knowing how to edit and do it, and if they wish to put it on YouTube, well, everyone can look at it, you know, why not?
And that's exactly what they were learning to do at the Youth Hub.
Nice one. Mojo. That's wicked, man. Awesome. How do you feel about it?
I showed the family before and I was happy.
Well, I reckon, yeah. Pretty good to get yours done now.
Yeah.
When Nicky come in today, proud as punch about his finished film. I noticed a difference in his voice on the film to start with, that it was so loud and clear.
He was always had this art thing.
And there was no mumbling and no uncertainty about any of what he was talking about. He was confident. We'll cover 100 metres square with Jerome. His persistence he's coming in every day. What are we doing next? And he's like, you know, getting a bit almost worried that he's going to drop the ball or get left behind.
Yeah, proud of myself anyways for doing this here. Yeah. Didn't think I'd actually do a movie, plus like all editing, putting sound effects, voiceovers. Man, I feel good. I feel heaps good.
And all the other guys are saying, hey, this isn't just a phone and it's something that you ring people or go on Facebook or watch, funny clips of YouTube. It's this powerful tool for storytelling.
So I think the fact is that if we have young people who are seeing the next generation, or even elders actually engaging with new technology, learning new skills, being, and they're just seen in a different light. There's a normalising of the story.
Hallie Weiss.
Hallie is a competitor in the Far West Tiny Tots program, and she's also my daughter.
Wayne's story of his family and his child at Little Aths, I think is a real, people don't necessarily know that this is just, pretty mundane at one level, but in fact this is the story of community.
This is Hallie's second week at the Tiny Tots program and she is really enjoying it.
My first video, it means a lot to me. I spent a day in the Mojo workshop and I got pretty excited that night.
We have decided to enrol her in this program to help encourage her physical activity and her self-confidence.
It's just a small idea and it can turn into something really fabulous, yeah, it can change lives.
Mojo works because it takes this technology and it substitutes the way Indigenous people were telling stories. And in fact, when their skill set becomes strong, it modifies the way that they were telling stories. And of course, in a sense, it redefines their story space from being a communal space, a local space, into a global space. It takes the local story and makes it global. But not only global, it enables other communities to actually learn from each other. Just like what's happening at Christmas at Watson.
Hello. Wait.
Merry Christmas! You need to catch up.
Fun to be Mojo, showing all the community what we can do.
Yeah, I think where to from here, the sky's the limit. We've now got people trained in our community that can start to promote promotional material for our people. There's a lot of organisations out there that would really like to promote their programs and some of their services, so we can engage these guys to actually start filming and promote this. But it was also got this other spin that we can go out and we can talk to some of our elders and we can ask them about what happened in their day, and we can find so many stories that we might hear over and over but no one else has heard, and we've now got the ability
Just in that one go.
To capture this and preserve it, because after they're gone, a lot of the stories die with them, and you'll be amazed how many stories people have when you just ask the question, and we've got the ability to record it now.
Whenever we have free time,